Imagine a traveler older than the sun itself, entering our solar system for the very first time. Scientists gave it a name, 3I ATLAS. But behind the cold numbers of astronomy, a bigger question echoes. Is this just a comet or a warning?
A warning. Please don't tell me we're about to add cosmic doomsday comet to the list of things that keep us awake at night, as if taxes weren't enough.
Not exactly. The Webb Telescope has already spotted gases and frozen water in its tail, evidence that it's active even far from the sun. And that's unusual, almost too unusual.
So we're starting with mystery number 1. But you haven't even told them what mystery number 5 is. And if I know you, that's the one that will make all the others finally make sense.
Exactly, because what Darius says about this comet, or whatever it is, will reframe everything. But before we get there, let's open the first door of this cosmic puzzle. On July 1st, 2025, telescopes in Chile picked up something strange moving across the night sky. At first, it looked like just another faint dot among billions, until astronomers realized its path didn't belong here. Its orbit wasn't circular or even elliptical. It was hyperbolic, meaning this object isn't from our solar system at all. It's a visitor.
Let me get this straight. Billions of stars, endless space, and suddenly this one decides to drop by? Either the universe is playing dice, or it's finally tired of ghosting us.
And that's the mystery. We've only ever seen 2 interstellar objects before. 1I, Oumuamua, and 2I, Borisov. That's it. In all of human history. Now comes the third, 3I ATLAS, a traveler possibly older than Earth itself.
3 visitors in a row. It almost feels staged, like the cosmos is slowly upping the difficulty level. First Oumuamua, the weird cigar-shaped one, then Borisov, the more classic comet, and now Atlas, the elder stranger.
And here's the looping question. Why now? Why, after billions of years, does this ancient traveler appear at this exact moment in human history? Coincidence or message?
Darius would probably say coincidence is just a polite word we use when meaning knocks on the door and we pretend we're not home.
Exactly. And if you think this first discovery is strange, wait until you hear what the Webb Telescope actually found inside its icy veil. When the Webb Telescope turned its golden eyes toward 3I ATLAS, the results were unsettling. Not just frozen water, as you'd expect. It was spewing carbon dioxide, dust, even strange chemical signatures rarely seen in comets from our own solar system. And here's the oddest part. It started showing activity while still incredibly far from the sun, at a distance where most comets remain silent, frozen, asleep.
So you're telling me this comet has the energy to throw a rave in deep space before even feeling the sun's heat? That's like dancing before the DJ even plugs in the music.
Exactly. It's not behaving like a normal comet. Some scientists believe its unusual composition could mean it was formed in an ancient, forgotten region of the galaxy. Others say its age could stretch back 7 to 14 billion years, older than our own solar system.
Wait, older than Earth? Older than the sun? So we're basically watching a cosmic grandparent cruise through the neighborhood, throwing snowballs made of chemistry lessons.
And that's the point. The Webb Telescope can measure gases and dust, but it can't measure meaning. As Darius often reminds us, science tells you what it is, consciousness asks why it came.
And here comes another loop. If this thing is older than the sun, older than us, maybe it's not just carrying chemicals. Maybe it's carrying memory. But memory of what?
That's the question Young would ask, because to him, every stranger that enters our sky awakens something hidden inside our collective unconscious. And 3I-ATLS might be the most powerful stranger of all. Young believed that when something completely unknown breaks into our world, it doesn't just appear in the sky, it erupts in the psyche. He called it the archetype of the stranger, a force that represents everything outside our comfort zone, yet somehow already living inside us.
So basically, 3I/Atlas is like that mysterious guest who shows up at your party uninvited, but when you look closer, you realize they're actually part of the family?
Exactly. Every culture has met this archetype before. The Sumerians saw omens and stars. The Mayans built calendars around cosmic visitors. Even the ancients who watched Halley's Comet thought it was a sign of war, of change, of awakening. Now, for the first time in our era, humanity is forced to ask, what does this stranger want to awaken in us?
And here's the uncomfortable part. Jung would say it's never just about the sky. It's about us. The stranger doesn't bring answers. It brings a mirror.
Which leads to another looping question. If 3I/Atlas is a mirror, what reflection is it showing us right now? Is it warning us of something ahead, or revealing what we've already become?
And knowing Darius, he'd probably say, the universe never sends strangers to entertain us. It sends them to wake us up. Which makes me wonder, are we actually ready to be awake?
And that takes us to the most challenging part of the story. What Darius sees in 3I/Atlas and why his interpretation could change the way we understand this entire encounter. Darius often says, every cosmic visitor is a mirror of our inner state of consciousness. And if that's true, then 3I-ATLS isn't just a comet drifting by. It's a message, reflecting who we are right now and who we might become.
So basically, therapy session number 3 after Oumuamua and Borisov, and now the universe is billing us for interstellar counseling?
Think about it. Oumuamua stirred debates about alien tech. Borisov reminded us comets can still surprise us. But Atlas, it's older, stranger, carrying signatures from before our own sun was born. To Darius, that makes it more than data. It makes it a teacher.
A teacher that doesn't speak, doesn't grade, and doesn't care if we skip class. Perfect. Just like my college philosophy professor.
Except this lesson isn't optional. Darius interprets 3I-ATLS as a symbol of transition. From ego to self. From seeing the universe as out there to realizing it's also in here. A comet older than Earth suddenly appearing now isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern. And patterns always ask us to pay attention.
And here comes another loop. If it's a mirror and a teacher, then what exactly is it trying to teach us? Because if step 4 is interpretation, step 5 might be the warning we've been avoiding all along.
Exactly. And step 5 is the one that makes all the others finally make sense. So let's put it all together. Step 1, the discovery, a traveler from beyond. Step 2, the Webb data, gases, water, chemistry from another world. Step 3, the archetype of the stranger, the unconscious knocking on our door. Step 4, Darius's interpretation, a mirror of our consciousness. And now step 5, the possible warning. Here's the twist. Step 5 isn't just another layer. It's the one that makes the other 4 finally click.
Of course, the classic plot twist. Like watching a mystery movie and realizing the butler wasn't just polishing silverware, he was polishing clues the whole time.
Exactly. Without the warning, the discovery is just data. Without the warning, the Webb results are just chemistry. Without the warning, Jung's archetype is just philosophy. But with it, suddenly the entire story is alive. It has urgency.
And urgency means responsibility. Because if this comet is mirror, the reflection we see isn't just cosmic dust. It's us, our choices, our shadows, our potential.
As Jung once wrote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Maybe 3I-Atlas is fate knocking, not to control us, but to remind us we still have time to choose.
Which opens the last loop of all. If this comet is a mirror, a warning, and a teacher. Then what lesson are we supposed to learn before it leaves?
And that takes us to the closing of this journey. But it's not the end, it's only the beginning of what comes next. So here we are, a comet older than the sun, carrying the chemistry of forgotten stars. The Webb Telescope tells us what it's made of. Young tells us what it means, and Darius reminds us why it matters. Is 3I Atlas just a comet or a warning?
Honestly, if it's a warning, I hope it comes with the user manual, preferably one that doesn't require me to learn interstellar Morse code.
Maybe the manual isn't out there. Maybe it's in here, because every cosmic stranger forces us to look inward, at the reflections we'd rather avoid. That's the real message, not destruction, but awakening.
And let's be honest, awakening is harder than facing an alien invasion. At least with aliens, you can negotiate. With yourself, no chance.
So if this cosmic traveler awakens something in you, don't ignore it. Stay with us, because this is only one visitor. Others will come, and each one will ask us the same question. Are we ready?
And hey, if you want to keep traveling with us, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, share. Not because an algorithm demands it, but because maybe, just maybe, the next revelation will change how you see the sky and yourself.